Outlaw Chapel thinks they have a answer why there are school shootings in the US. First of all, I want to thank all my patrons, members, donors and subscribers. All of you are important for me. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody and welcome to Outlaws Chapel.
This is Wild Bill for America, a Christian YouTuber and that claims that he's a chaplain at the Outlaws Chapel. When I look at the chapel's homepage, there are only information about him and information about him raising money for different things.
We are experiencing a rash of mass shootings in the USA. What a coincidence that they're happening just as the Democrats are pushing the most massive gun-grabbing schemes of all time. Do the Democrats have enough influence to make these shootings happen? No. If they could, the Democrats would cause mass shootings every day to justify a full socialist takeover of the USA. So what are some of the influences that lead to these mass shootings? Here are my top 5.
I'm Swedish, and I'm sure that Bill would think that Sweden is a socialist country, because if you look at the political parties in US, both of them would end up on the right side, not the left side in politics. So let's compare his arguments about school shooting with Sweden.
Number 1, violent video games. I've played these blood-splattering shoot-ups and they are super addictive to the male brain. Today's young and dumb boys grow up feeding on the simulated slaughter of people, lots of people. And when I say young and dumb, I mean it. Today's young generation are the stupidest bunch to ever walk the streets of the USA. And that makes them ripe for the left to use for political purposes.
The same games are played by young people in Sweden as in the US. So there is no difference.
Number 2, glorious Hollywood shootouts. Every day, Hollywood, the most morally corrupt organization in America, puts out movies where the hero brings justice with a hail of bullets and bodies hitting the ground, and then walks away as if nothing happened. Look at the posters advertising movies and take note of how many of them are glorifying guns.
And all of those movies are also shown in Sweden on cinemas, on television, on streaming services and so on. So there's no difference.
Number 3, traditional moral standards have been banned from public education for 50 years. Thou shalt not kill, declared with the full authority of God Almighty, used to be taught to every American student. Today, the dirty Democrats scream bloody murder if anyone tries to teach Christian moral standards to young people. Did you get that clever reference to bloody murder? Because that is exactly what godless education has given us. The Patriot's Bible is an excellent resource. I was thumbing through one and I just had to buy it when I read the intro, which declared that every student in America has the right to a God-based education. That is the number one thing to do to end these mass shootings. Bring back America's Christian education in all public schools.
The Swedish schools are not Christian. We teach religion in school as a subject. We read about all the big religions in the world.
The number 4 factor in mass shootings is the appalling lack of fathers in the home. The American family has been essentially destroyed by godless social manipulation. Boys are created by God with a warrior spirit within, and that warrior spirit needs to be trained up to be controlled with honor and godly moral principles. Depriving boys of masculine guidance creates a menace to society.
In Sweden we also have a lot of divorced couples. A lot of children are raised by a single parent, the mom or the dad. In Sweden only 24% says that they have a strong belief in a God. Sweden is one of the least Christian countries in the world.
And the last one that I'm going to mention today is the manufactured racism of the Democrat Party. Fake racism is a cancer in our society. Wicked men and women have set black Americans against everybody else. It is truly shameful to see how the black community has been duped and used by the Democrats as political pawns to bring hatred and chaos and violence to our communities. I am calling for influential people in the black community to stand up and say enough. No more fake racism for political purposes. Let's get back to Martin Luther King, who said, "A man should be judged not by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character." It's time for Black America to focus on building good moral character in their young people and to walk away from the manipulation of the Democrat Party. If you believe in this message, then please go to outlawschapel.com, subscribe, and become a monthly donor to help keep the message going out. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching, and America bless God again.
Fake racism. That was a new one for me. I'm no expert in the American society, but yes, we have some racism in Sweden too. But fake racism, I don't know about that one. So this was the 5 factors behind school shootings in the US according to Wild Bill. So if this is the factors, we would have at least the same amount of school shootings in Sweden or more, because we are not so Christian in this country. Let's have a look at school shootings in Sweden. And yes, we have had school shootings. We have had only one school shooting in Sweden, and that one was 1961 in a town called Kungälv. It was a 17-year-old student that fired 15 shots on a school dance at the school, and 7 was injured, and later on one of them died at hospital. If we also look at school attacks where knives were used, we have some more. After the attack 1961, we have had a total of 10 attacks on schools in Sweden where knives, swords and so on are used. In total 8 have died in those attacks, and 1 attacker have been killed by police at the crime scene. Let's compare this with US. I will use school shooting statistics from US from 1961 to the end of 2022. USA 1,991 school shootings and 70-20 dead. Sweden 11 school shootings or school attacks and 10 dead. So it's 33 times more people in US than in Sweden. So US have 33 times more people. So if we look at shootings, we have had 1. To compare it, it would correlate with 33 killed by guns. So US have 33 times more people. So if we look at shootings, we have had 1. To compare it, it would correlate with 33 killed by guns. So it have been almost 22 times more school shootings in US under this period. I don't know how many students and people killed in school by knives and so on in US, but if I add those numbers, it still compares that we have double the amount killings in schools in US. So, did Wild Bill present the reasons for school shootings in US? No, I think that Sweden proves him wrong. There are 22 times more school shootings in US than in Sweden. Still, we are not as religious as people in US. We look at the same movies and we play the same games. Bill tries to fool people to believe that the Bible is the solution to these tragic events in US. I don't think religion is the problem in this case or the solution. You have to look at other places. But that is a topic for another video. Today I ordered drone number 16. It will be sent to Ukraine next week when it arrives to me. If you want to help me help Ukraine, please use PayPal, and every donation is important. I hope you liked this video. It was not my normal type of content. I will be back on Monday. Have a lovely weekend all and see you next week. Bye.